So welcome back to our economics class, and today we are want to discuss about a number of factors that are related with production and cost. Production and cost. So already in the previous chapters we discussed about what are the problems in an economy, basically considering as the central problems of an economy: how to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. Right? Yes or no? And the second chapter, we discussed about what we discussed in the second chapter: supply, right? Supply, demand, okay, and the relation with the supply and demand. Clear. Basically, considering as the consumer's behavior. Consumer's behavior. So, consumer is always trying to purchase the products there, right? Okay, as that is related with his or her own income. Okay, then the next factor we want to study about the producers, how they are producing, what are the factors are directly related with the production of different products. Okay, it's called to be cost of production and different methods that following by the producers to minimize the cost of production. Okay, and a relation between production, supply, and demand. Okay, so basically we know that the total output is basically considering as a supply. Okay, so total output is basically considering as a supply too, right? So that interchangeably we will use those terms there. Clear? So just open your textbook. Here's the chapter production and cost. Okay, so we are using the term here firms, FIRMs. Okay, FIRMS. Okay, what is the meaning of the term firms? Here it is a production unit. Okay, production unit. That's what the name of a name or this term that basically mean. What is that? Firm. Okay, a production unit. Okay, you can see here the production is the process by which inputs are transformed into output. Okay, underline that term. What is that? Production is the process by which inputs are transformed into output. Production is carried out by producers or firms. Okay, firms in the sense of production units. That's what the meaning of the term firm. So here the question is for us. Okay, how can a firm or the producer can transfer the input into output? Inputs into output. Okay, what do you mean by inputs basically in a production? Okay, take industrial production. So production we are able to find in both in a primary sector and a secondary sector. Primary sector production is basically connected with the agricultural production, right? And the secondary sector production is called with the industrial production. In both cases, inputs are necessary. So you want to keep that in your mind. Without input, there is no production or there is no output. So input is too important for we people to start production. Okay, for any producer or any firm, inputs are necessary. The question is, how can we convert the inputs into output? For example, the case of an industry. Take an industry. Okay, so we know that there are a number of industries are there. Basically, they are using different material as the raw material, right? Yes or no? So raw material alone is considering as input. If the raw material is alone is considering as input. Any other things are there?
Income.
Inputs. I mean inputs. In here it is not income. It's called to be investment. Okay. What is that? Investment. You have to keep money. We have to invest money. That's called to be capital, right or not? Capital investment is necessary. So that money what we are using to produce, okay, that's a factor. That's an input. I understood and I accepted that. Okay, next one. Land. Is the land is an input or not? Land. We want the land to produce the things. Without land, any production is possible. No, land is necessary. Labor. So labor is necessary or not? But Abdul, labor is necessary or not? For production. Definitely. Okay. Then land, labor, capital, organizer. So we know that. What are the factors of production? Factors of production, right? Land, labor, capital, and organizer. Land, labor, capital, and organizer. So, and we know that raw materials we required to start the production. Raw material is necessary. So, combination of all these things together, we are able to produce. This combination is necessary. So we want to combine all those things, basically considering as inputs to produce the products, whatever it is. Okay, so it is necessary. These things are necessary. So just underline that area. Production is the process by which inputs are transformed into output. Production is carried out by a producers or firms. Producers or firms. Okay, here we are coming. It uses these inputs to produce output. This output can be consumed by the consumer. So output is considering as the product. Output is the output from the production unit is considering as the product that we are able to purchase from the market, and we are able to use that. Okay, for a sugar factory and for a biscuit factory or an ice cream factory, okay, whatever the product they produced that available in the market, definitely they have to sell that in the market, right or not? The producers want to sell that in the market or not? What do you think, Pavitra? For example, Pavitra started a company, okay, an ice cream company, right? An ice cream company she started. Okay, if she want to make profit, definitely she want to sell that in the market, right or not? Yes or no? Definitely. Without selling that, she is unable to create a profit. So the final product, the producers will sell in the market. So basically the production is for sell in the market, right? So consumers can purchase that by spending money. So you can see here, this output can be consumed by the consumers or used by other firms for further production. So this idea is clear. This output can be consumed by the consumer. So output of any firm can be consumed by the consumer, or other firms can use that. Other firms, right? Example, sugar is produced by the sugar factory or a sugar mill. Later, sugar can used to be number of other factories, basically food processing units, other firms they are, other firms. Okay, so such kind of products, basically we already said that intermediary goods, right or not? So consumer can directly purchase the product from the market, or else other firms can purchase that and they can use that as a raw material to produce something new. Something new. It's called to be intermediary good, like sugar, steel. Okay, almost all the metals. An example for that. Next one. Here you can see number of example here. A tailor uses a sewing machine, cloth thread, and his own labor to produce shirts. A farmer uses his land labor, a tractor, seed fertilizer, water, etc. to produce wheat. A car manufacturer uses land for a factory, machinery, labor, and various other inputs like steel, aluminum, rubber to produce cars. A rickshaw puller uses a rickshaw and his own labor to produce a rickshaw rides. A domestic helper uses her labor to produce cleaning services. We make certain simplifying assumption to start with. Okay, so these are the things basically connected with the production. So we discuss about a farmer, we discuss about a car manufacturing unit, we discuss about a rickshaw puller, we discuss about a cleaning service, a housemaid. Okay, so they are using number of inputs to produce something new, or even produce the service. Okay, so first of all, you want to understand one thing here. In order to acquire inputs, a firm has to pay for them. So to get or to make use the inputs, definitely the firm or the company or the industry, they have to spend money, right or not? So factors of production, we know that land, labor, capital, organizer. Just to take it in your mind, what is that? Just keep that in your mind too. This one, raw material. So that also necessary. Energy, that also necessary. Water, necessary, right or not? For production, all these things are necessary. So no, these things are free. Okay, the producers or the firms, they have to spend money to purchase all those things. They have to spend money on labor. They have to spend money on what is that? Land. They have to spend money on the raw material. They have to spend money on what? The capital investment. I mean, the rate of interest. Okay. So each and every factor of production has its own remuneration. It has its own remuneration, right or not? What is the remuneration for land? Land.
Rent.
Land rent. Who want to pay that? Who will pay that? The producer, right or not? The producer only will pay that, right? So to make use these inputs, definitely the firm want to spend money. They have to spend money, right? So what is the remuneration for labor? Wages or salary. Who will spend that? The producer, right or not? The producer only, the man or the group of people, they have to spend that money, right? Next one, on the raw material. Raw materials are not freely available, right or not? So they have to spend for that too. The producer. Okay, so just keep that in your mind. So altogether, they have to spend a lot of money to purchase the factors of production. So basically it is called to be the cost of production. Okay, the money that what we are spending to create something new or produce something new, that is basically considering as cost of production. We, in the sense, the producers or firms, if they want to produce something new to sell in the market, okay, definitely they want to spend money. That amount is basically considering as a cost of production. Okay, once output has been produced, the firm sell it in the market and earns revenue. Another word for us, it is what? One word we got here, firms. Next one is cost of production. You know that now. And next word is revenue. Okay, so definitely we know that the producers are producing the product to sell in the market to earn profit. So this is called what? Revenue. Okay. Understanding or not? The income or the money they acquired or they made by selling the product in the market. That's called to be the revenue for the firms, for the firms there. So we are going to discuss about the cost of production to create it or to make a tea. Okay, clear. So tell me, Karthik Menon,
Yes, sir.
the ingredients required to make tea.
Sir, milk,
Milk. Then cost
tea,
of plus
tea powder,
cost of tea powder.
and
Then so related with the simple tea, there are a number of things are related with. Clear or not? Many things are there. Not only milk, not only tea powder. What are the other things we are required to create or to make a tea?
sugar,
Sugar, yeah, fine. Three things now. Next. Come on. The fuel, right?
yes, sir.
Yes. Our manual input, right? Right or not?
Yes,
Simply milk, tea, and sugar we keeping somewhere, it will not convert into a tea, right? We have to add all these things together, right? So our manual efforts also is there, right? So for a simple tea, these many factors required. So discussing about various different production units, you can imagine that, right or not? That much money they have to spend. Clear? That much things wanted to incorporate, then only they can produce the products there. Okay, why is producing the products? The basic motto is there, it is profit making, so they have to sell that in the market to earn a revenue. So that is called the cost of production, the money that's spent by the firms to produce the products or create the output. Okay, so that is called to be the cost of production, and they are selling the products in the market to earn revenue. In difference, so underline next point here. The difference between the revenue and cost is called the firm's profit. The difference between the revenue and the cost of production, that is called to be the profit. Okay. So cost of production for one tea, it is just imagine it is 15 rupees, and you sold that in the market for 20 rupees. Then the profit is 5 rupees, right? Is that correct or not? Okay, the cost of production is 15 rupees. They sold that in the market for 20 rupees. So 20 minus 15, 5. That is the profit. That is the profit for the producer. Just keep that in your mind. Okay. Next, we are directly going to the production function. So just keep that in your mind. Now you know that what are the factors of production, right? What are the factors of production, Amal? Amal Raj, can you hear me? Amal Raj,
Yes, sir.
tell me, what are the factors of production?
Sir, land,
Hmm.
labor,
Hmm.
capital,
Hmm.
the raw material.
Mm-mm. So for an economic student, it is compulsory, and you want to keep that in your mind. You should not forget that. What are they? Ashish Benny, what are they? Factors of production. From junior classes onwards, you are learning that. Ashish Benny, can you hear me? Ashish Benny, are you there? Ashish. Sharat Anil Kumar, are you there? Sharat Anil Kumar. Sharat Anil, right? Sharat, everyone please turn on your cameras. Ashish Benny, Pavitra, Basil, Hanna Salim, Muhammad Irfan, Grishma Joshi, Subham Pal, Sharat Anil, turn on your cameras. Everyone please turn on your cameras. Now tell me, Ashish, what are the factors of production? What are they?
Land,
Hmm.
labor,
Hmm.
capital,
Hmm.
raw material.
Raw material. So raw material, I just told that related with the input, right or not? The factors of production in the sense there are 4 plus 1, 5 are there, right? 4 plus 1, 5. Okay. So what are the first four? Land, labor, capital, and organizer, the enterprise. All right. Land, labor, capital, and organizer. The first four factor: land, labor, capital, organizer. Organizer is the person or a group of people. They are organizing all other factors of production to produce the new product. All right. Just keep that in your mind. Organizer. It's important. The fifth factor is considering as the technology what we are using to produce the product. Technology. Clear. Technology to produce the product is considering as the fifth factor of production. Technology. Clear. So all these factors have its own remuneration. Its own remuneration. Who want to pay that? The organizer want to pay that. The firm want to pay that. Clear. Okay, so here we know that for land, anyway, want to pay rent. Okay, the remuneration for land is rent. That's a part of the production cost. Clear. For the labor, wages or salary, part of the cost of production, part of the cost of production, land, labor, capital, money that we are investing to purchase all other things. Clear or not? Okay, that is called to be the capital. Money invested to start the business or start the production is called to be the capital. So capital is remuneration is called to be interest. Interest. Okay. So if you are giving money to someone, they have to pay the money back to you, right or not? Anyway, but along with the interest, if you are investing money in the bank will give us what? What the bank will give us? Our principal amount along with the interest. So wherever or whenever you are investing money, you want to get the interest along with that principal amount. So remuneration for capital investment is called to be, what is that? Interest. Okay. And what is the remuneration for the organizer? Organizer. What is the remuneration for the organizer? It is profit or loss. It is a profit or loss. Clear or not? So almost all the organizers will try to create profit, try to make profit only, not a loss, not a loss. Always they will try to make a profit. The fifth factor is called to be the technology to produce the product. Technology. What method we are using to produce the product? It's called to be technology, right or not? So what is the remuneration for technology? Technology.
Royalty.
Royalty, very good. Royalty. Royalty is the remuneration for technology. Royalty. So you produced, sorry, you invented one particular thing. It can help or it can improve the production. Just imagine, it can improve the production. So you can ask money for the firm or the organizer. Okay, I am ready to give my invention, but you have to pay money, right or not? That is called what? Royalty, clear or not? So all these factors of production have its own remuneration. It's on a remuneration. Just to keep that in your mind. So the remuneration is considering the cost of production. Cost of production. Cost of production. Clear or not? The same time, the capital is related with the number of other factors. What is that? Working capital, fixed capital, human capital. Working capital, fixed capital, human capital. Working capital, we know that, right? What is that? Working capital. Every day the organizer want to spend that money, that on raw material, or giving away wages to the workers. Okay, so raw material and wages to the workers is coming under that category. What is that? Working capital. Clear? Yes or no? Working capital. Next one is, what is fixed capital? Fixed capital.
Regularly, we have to pay certain amount.
Amount. Avarna, tell me, what is fixed capital? One more time, please. I missed that.
So regularly, we have to pay certain sum
Definitely.
for particular product.
spent. Okay, we are spending money on what? Basically, tools and machineries. Tools and machineries. We are able to use that for a long period of time. Long period of time. Clear or not? Okay, once we invested money to purchase these tools and machineries, we are able to use these tools and machinery for a long period of time. So that was the part of the production only, part of the production, but not for a short run, for a long time or long period, we are able to use such kind of machines and tools. But working capital is not like that. Regularly, the organizer want to spend the money on the raw material and wages for the workers. Wages for the workers. Is that clear or not? So four factors are there. What are they? Land, labor, capital, and organizer plus technology. Land, labor, capital, organizer plus the technology to produce the product. Clear? Remuneration for each factor of production. Land, it is a rent. Labor, it is wages or salary. Okay. For a capital, it is a interest, and for the organizer, it is a loss or a profit. Loss or a profit. For the technology, what we are using to produce the product, that is basically considering as the royalty. What is that? Royalty. Clear? So keep that in your mind. So the money that what we are spending to organize all these things, basically considering as the cost of production. Many other factors also are there, right or not? That all coming under the working capital only. Basically the money that what we are spending to purchase electricity, okay, or pay electricity bill or pay water bill, that all coming under the working capital. Every time we have to spend that money. Okay, clear or not? This idea should be with you, right? Otherwise it is impossible to understand the things that coming. Okay, so listen, next one is going to be the production function. Okay, you already studied about the consumption function, right or not? Yes or no? We studied the consumer behavior, studied about the demand function. Okay, next one, 3.1, the production function. So the production function of a firm is relationship between inputs used and output produced. So just to keep that in your mind, what is that? The relation between the input used and output produced. Outputs produced. Just keep that in your mind. The production function of a firm is a relationship between inputs used and outputs produced by the firm. For various quantities of input used, it gives the maximum quantity of output that can be produced. So always a producer will think about using less quantity of inputs and producing the maximum quantity of products. Clear or not? Then only they are able to make more profit. Understanding or not? Always all the producers will think about that. How to reduce the cost of production? To improve the profit or maximize the profit. Clear? Always the producers will think about that. If you are starting a factory or you are starting a production unit, definitely you also will think about that first. What is that? How to improve profit from the business or profit from the production. So there are various methods are there. We will discuss that in this chapter also. Okay, so moving forward, here you can see, are you able to see the board? The screen is visible or not? Yes. Okay. So consider the farmer we mentioned above. For simplicity, we assume that the farmer used only two inputs to produce wheat. So here we know that there are various factors are there to produce the product there. For making the idea clear, here we are taking only two inputs. What are they? Number of inputs are there, but for easy understanding, we are using only two inputs here. Just keep that in mind. One is land, other is labor. Land and labor are the two inputs we are using to understand the production function. Okay, a production function tells us the maximum amount of wheat he can produce for given amount of land that he uses. So production function is the maximum amount of wheat that can be produced by the farmer by using these two inputs like land and labor. So that's what the function of the production function we are going to discuss about. Okay. land that he used and the given number of hours of labor that he performs. Suppose that he uses 2 hours of labor per day and 1 hectare of land to produce the maximum 2 tons of wheat. Just read that one more time. Suppose that he uses 2 hours of labor per day and 1 hectare of land to produce maximum 2 tons of wheat. 2 tons of wheat. Then the function that describes this relation is called production function. So 2 tons of wheat is the production. I mean the produce, right or not? And inputs are 2 hours of labor per day and 1 hectare of land. 1 hectare of land and labor. 2 hours of labor per day and 1 hectare of land. And he produced 2 tons of wheat. 2 tons of wheat. So we can write the production function like this. Q is equal to K into L. Clear? You can see the equation here. Okay, so production function, one possible example of the form, this could take this form, right? What is that? Q is equal to K into L. K into L. Let's keep that in your minds. Okay, where Q is the amount of wheat produced, 2 tons, and K is the area of land in hectares, 1 hectare, and L is the number of hours of work done in a day, 2 hours. Is that clear? Is that idea clear or not? So production function, what is the relation between? It is the relation between, what is the relation? The relation between the product that produced and the inputs used. Inputs are used. That's called to be the production function. Here, the production of wheat. Okay, the farmer used 1 hectare of land. 1 hectare of land is an area, all right? 1 hectare of land and 2 hours of labor per day. 2 hours of labor per day, and he created and he produced 2 tons of wheat. 2 tons of wheat. Is that clear? So that's the relation. That is the relation between the production and the inputs used. Then what is the equation? Quantity produced is equal to K into L. Okay, K into L. Here K is the hours of labor and L is land. L is a land. Okay, that's the production function here. K is equal to, sorry, Q is equal to K into L. K into L. Okay, so describing a production function in this manner tell us the exact relation between inputs and output. If either K or L increases, Q will also increase. Okay, so you can understand one thing here. Either K or L, okay, hours of work or land utilized to produce the wheat. Okay, any one of these increases, definitely what will increase? Quantity of wheat that produced also will increase. Is that clear or not? Clear or not? For example, with 1 liter milk, we are able to produce 10 tea. 10 tea, definitely, right or not? Yes or no? Clear. The same time, if you are using 2 liter milk, what will happen? How many tea we can produce?
20.
Double, right? 20. So simple. So if you are maximizing or increasing the inputs, definitely the output also will increase. Simple idea. What is that? If input is increasing or you are making changes in the input, it will definitely affect on the output. Clear? Okay, if the input is increasing, definitely the output also will increase. That's a simple idea. It is. Okay, just keep that in your mind. Okay, here describing a production function in this manner tell us the exact relation between inputs and outputs. If either K or L increase, Q will also increase. So here K is the hours of labor, L is land used to produce the product, Q is the quantity produced. For any L and K, there will be only one Q, right or not? Whatever may be the L and K, the production is or produce is same only. Since by definition we are taking the maximum output for any level of inputs. A production function deals only with the efficient use of inputs. Efficiency implies that it is not possible to get any more output from the same level of inputs. Okay, so efficiency in the sense for any level of input, the maximum production, that's called to be the efficiency. Okay. Yes or no? Already we studied that in the second chapter, consumer behavior. What is that? Optimum choice of the consumer. Optimum choice of the consumer. What is that? Related with the budget, there is a limit is there. There is a limit. That is the maximum. That is the maximum. Nothing more than that. Nothing more than that. In the, coming to production, okay, output can produce maximum. Okay, if you are using 2 units of output, it can provide us 4 units of, sorry, 2 units of input, it can provide 4 units of output. Just imagine. So that is considering as the maximum, nothing more than that. Nothing more than that. It's called to be efficiency. That is called to be efficiency. The maximum the input can give to us. Give us. Okay, that's called to be what the efficiency of inputs. A production function is defined over a given technology. It is a technological knowledge that determines the maximum level of output that can be produced using different combination of inputs. Just underline that. A production function is defined for a given technology. It is the technological knowledge that determines the maximum level of output that can be produced using different combination of inputs. The technology improves, the maximum level of output obtainable from different input combination increases. We then have a new production function. So technology also related with the use of inputs. Technology also related with the use of inputs. So do you know any example related with that? By using technology, we are able to produce more products. Any examples are there? By using technology. By using technology, by using the same working hours or same land, can we improve